Galatians chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. Shalom, shalom. Before I start this lesson, all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone that rule well, and peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren out there teaching his word in all sincerity and in truth. And to the few Akwaf that listen and subscribe as well. Shalom, Mr. Brother Dama Agabar here with another lesson. Lord willing to edify and give you warning from Yahweh while Yahweh Shai. All right, and I started with Revelation 12 and 12, dealing with the fact that the devil, being Esau Edom, the so-called white man, so that you can understand, and this government and these elites, and its power structure is really about to come down with great wrath, man, because this devil's time is ultimately up, man, and he is being exposed on every level. Everywhere he turns, everywhere he hides, somebody, this truth is shining a light, or even his own tongue is falling upon him and exposing the light. Nobody trusts him. Nobody believes anything that he says anymore. So, he's basically just, his lies aren't working anymore. And he's going to have only one choice, which is ultimately to come down with great wrath and silence all those that speak truth, all those that speak up against him, and all those that are exposing, his hidden hand and his agendas. And he's going to start passing unrighteous decrees. He's about to start passing certain laws to just literally speaking the truth, anybody that does it treasonous, or they're going to make it a felony or a crime, or they're going to, get the alphabet people on you, not the LGBTism, but like the FBI, the CIA. They're going to defame you. They're going to, make up accusations and lies and slanders against anybody that's speaking the truth. And eventually it's going to roll down, especially unto the men of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, the prophets of the Bible. And what prompted me to do this lesson, because I was reading this article, and as I was reading it, it was like, damn, this shows you exactly just how far these devils are willing to go to try and silence anyone that's coming up against the agenda. And as we know, the prophets, we pose the biggest threat, because we're coming from the angle in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, the God of the Bible, the God of the Israelites, Yahweh. You see what it says here? Ex-U.S. Army PSYOP expert Fox News fired Carlson Tucker to maintain semi-lobotomized, quasi-retarded population. You see, as I was reading this article, it made me think, if they're willing to go this far to attack, Tucker Carlson, somebody who's on national television, somebody who was on, national television, I think it was like the most popular, he was getting the most traffic when he did his, his news reports, on mainstream media, on mainstream television. And he was exposing a lot of the truth of, the corruptness of this government, the bullshit of the proxy war over there in the Ukraine. He was exposing the whole January 6th fraud, how the CIA was involved, how people were being set up. And it's been just ultimately just, speaking the truth and exposing, the deep state, or, these elites and the bullshit that's happening for, the average American citizen to catch wind and to be aware and to start to research things. Well, if they're willing to do this to this guy, what do you think they were going to be willing to do to the men of the Lord and the prophets? And they're showing you that, these devils are going to start big and they're going to work their way down to eventually they're going to come up against the prophets and the men of the Lord and those of us who are out there speaking His truth. And they've already done it on a lower level, by deleting all of our YouTube videos, permanently deleting our pages. But eventually they are going to come down with that great wrath, man. And they're going to try to make, Tucker Carlson another example, just like they did Alex Jones. And like I said, eventually they're going to come after the prophets, man. So let's read some of this. It says, a former U.S. Army psychological warfare officer says that Tucker Carlson was fired by Fox News because of the regime's agenda to maintain an uninformed, semi-lobotomized, quasi-retarded population. And that's true. We know that these elites don't want a civilization or citizens that are thinkers, citizens that can, have some critical thinking, that can put two and two together, that won't just go along, and believe whatever the hell that they're told. And what, this guy took across, and even the men of the Lord, the prophets, as far as us reaching out into the elect, we're putting them in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai to research things, to figure out the truth, to figure out who the devil is, to put two and two together, to go into these scriptures and these precepts and to understand who our enemy is and what his agenda is all about. And we're eventually going to find ourselves under this same threat, because part of, hey, this devil, he has to come down with that great wrath. He wants people silenced. He wants those that are speaking the truth, those that have two brain cells to rub together and that can put together, the bullshit that these elites are doing to bring in this new world order out of the way. And they just want these lobotomized, like I said, quasi-retarded people that are easy to control, that are easy to manipulate, and that's going to go along and get along and do whatever they're told by the powers that be. Which this guy, like I said, took across and posed a threat to that, as do the prophets and the men of the Lord. But the main reason why I'm doing this is to address the brethren, because we're going to be casted under this same shadow. We're going to be put in the same light as this guy, because we're exposing the ultimate truth with the scriptures to back it up. It says the remarks were made by U.S. counter. Matter of fact, let me get the precept. I was reading this article. I was like, man, see, there it is. Hey, these devils are about to roll, man. So let me get this. Let me get that Amos, man. This is Amos chapter 5, verse 10. It says, they hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. You see? And that's ultimately what these devils hate, because their whole agenda and their whole plan is strictly on lies and deception. And they deem anybody that speaks the truth and that exposes the truth as hate speech. They invert everything. And like I said, the ultimate ones that are speaking the truth and speaking the ultimate truth are the prophets, the men of the Lord, because we're the ones that's ultimately, ushering in and rolling out the red carpet for our Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai to return. But first, as we know, this devil has to be destroyed by the spirit of the mouth of the prophets before Yahweh Shai comes and physically dethrone these devils, man. It says, Carlson and Fox News parted ways on Monday, with speculation still raging as to the specific reason why the network canned its highest rated and most popular host. According to Bennett, Carlson posed too much of a threat to institutional power because he turned Americans into proper researchers and thinkers, you see? And when you look at it in the spiritual aspect, this is the same that the men of the Lord are doing as we're gathering the elect, as we're exposed, even 2/3 of our people who don't fully believe what we say or that's not slated to come into the truth. And even people that watch our videos that may not agree with everything that we say, they do know that we are telling the truth, man. They may not, they don't have the spirit to understand prophecy and to get the full length of what the scriptures are saying, but they do understand when we're exposing Esau or we're coming up against these elites, the powers that be, how these devils are poisoning everybody and they're poisoning the air. People get a lot of those things, man. And they know that, they can catch on to the fact that this is a very corrupt and wicked society and government that we're, under the rule of, But ultimately, we're posing the biggest threat as we're gathering the elect, the army of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. It says Carlson offered an intellectualism, truthfulness, and an analytical depth that no other news personality has ever done in the history of the United States, as far as back as I can remember, said Bennett. Right, because all the other mainstream news personalities, they're all pundits. I don't think that's the right word, but they're all brought and paid for, man. They're given these big contracts. They're told what to say. They're told what guests to have on. They're given talking points, and they're there to assist the agenda and to keep you people dumbed down, stupid, ignorant, and never to second guess or never to question the information that you're being told. And this is being pumped out on every form of mainstream news media outlets across the planet, man. Every time people turn on the news, no matter what station, no matter what state, it's all the same shit being cycled through for the people to, just eat it up and believe it and never to second guess or question what they're being told, but just to believe it. Which is why when they told people to go and roll up their sleeves and take, a majority of these American people did it without question, And I know several people that I work with that took that shit blindly, man. And now, things ain't so good. But anyways, it says Tucker needed to be silenced. See, he needed to be silenced. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate. And now look at what they're doing. They fired this guy, and this is not going to be the end. You better believe they're going to come after him. I think they even said that now they got some woman, was going to say it in an article. Now they got some woman trying to file a lawsuit saying that he was, she was being sexually harassed. She was being abused by him in the office and all this bullshit. See, because that's what Esau does, man. He's the accuser of he's the accuser of our brethren. And pretty soon he's gonna come out with some slanderous BS or a deep fake or some of this chat AI coordinated bullshit to try to slander the prophets and the men of the Lord on some fake shit so that they can silence us, get us off the streets. All right. It says Tucker needed to be silenced because he represented too big a threat to the powers and principalities. Yeah, what does that make you think of? We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but principalities, wickedness in high places, man. These elites, they're witchcraft, they're sorcery. It says powers and principalities, institutions, and agendas that seek an unenlightened, uninformed, semi-lobotomized, quasi-retarded population that does not question, does not research, do not analyze, but simply digest and follow instructions according to Bennett. You see, and this is what this society has created a whole nation of. And that's why when we speak this truth, that's why our videos be silenced. That's why they'll take down our videos when we bring out too much hard-hitting truth and too much factual information on the agenda of these elites and their wickedness, man. You see? So it's kind of like, they've already been persecuting us before they ultimately fired Tucker Carlson, man. You see? So we've already been experiencing this on a lower level, but it's about to be on a very high level pretty soon, like I read in Revelation, the 12th chapter. It says Tucker Carlson, Tucker Carlson also exposed the fraud and money laundering racketeering crimes of FTX and the Democratic Party in Ukraine involving the United States government. He exposed the U.S. biochemical lab in Ukraine and their connection to the Democratic Party. President Barack Obama, Vice President Biden, Hillary Clinton, George Soros, Bill Gates, and other U.S. government agencies and pharmaceutical companies, Bennett told Sputnik, which this is what, the prophets, we've been doing this forever now. We've been exposing these damn devils, man. May not be on the level as Fox News and on the mainstream media, but this truth has gone global. This has been spread throughout the four corners of the earth. We know a lot of our videos are, like I said, they've been taken down. They've been, what do you call it? Brothers go live. You'll be blacklisted. They're doing everything in their power to try to, stop the masses from receiving these messages, man. You see? And now they got Tucker Carlson on their shit list, on their hit list, which was, it's going to happen eventually, It says the ex-host's anti-regime rhetoric could no longer be tolerated by the corrupt American media and political establishment. And we know who owns the American media and who owns the political establishment, man. All right. We know. We ain't got to go into details. We ain't got to go into names. We ain't got to point any fingers. Those who are in the know, know. And now, like I said, these devils are they're losing the information war. They're losing, a huge part of the battle. Now it's just time for them to just come down with great wrath and attack everybody that's speaking the truth and silence them and come up against them and lie and slander and accuse. It says adding that his exit signals the death of American media, which has already been fucking dead. All right. It says the former U.S. Army PSYOP officer suggested that Senator Chuck Schumer had threatened to utilize the CIA and the FBI to deploy secret government operations against Tucker to get him off air unless he was fired. See, so that's part of those schemes. That's part. You know what? Let me get this real quick. And hey, the prophets and the men of the Lord, our day is coming too, where we're going to be attacked in a major way in mainstream media. Wait till I'm done. I'm almost done. Okay, wait a minute. It says go in a few minutes. This is let me see. Sloppy. This is Isaiah chapter 59, verse 15. It says, yea, truth faileth, especially here in Babylon the Great, man. There ain't no, only truth that's being spoken is by the men of the Lord and the prophets. All right. Like I said, in the mainstream news media and in this world, there ain't no truth. Truth is failing here. Only thing that's flourishing and that's being accepted here is lies and wickedness and corruption, you know? But that's why when the truth is spoken, it's so foreign, it's so attacked, it's so frowned upon, it's so shunned. And now these devils about to take it to another level to where truth is going to absolutely fail, you know, and the only place it's going to flourish and be fruitful is going to be amongst the elect. But as far as, you know, these lobotomized, retarded population of people who go along with the system, you know, it's not going to shine upon them. It says, yea, truth faileth, and he that departeth from evil maketh himself a prey, you see? And that's why, you know, like I said in the article, they were going to get the CIA and the FBI on Tucker, you know? And they're going to do the same thing with us, man. All right, so we can look at what they're doing to this guy. We know eventually it's going to apply to us, which it already has on the lower level, but it's going to get to a level to where it's going to be like, holy shit, these motherfuckers really coming after us, man. Which, you know, we expect, which we know, and our faith is that, you know, Yahweh Shai is going to lift up that standard when the enemy comes in like a flood. But seeing this and seeing what they're doing to this guy, you know, we got to, you know, we see that, and now we can see how this devil is going to operate. We can see a little bit better on how he's going to bring it unto us, but as they're going to do unto this guy. It says, and the Yahweh saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment, you see. And this devil is going to pay the penalty, man. All right. So let's read that again, man. It says the former U.S. Army PSYOP officer suggested that Senator Chuck Schumer had threatened to utilize the CIA and the FBI to deploy secret government operations against Tucker to get him off air unless he was fired. See, and they fired him, but they're not going to stop there, because I heard that there was word that he's going to start doing his own thing. He's going to have his own network that he's going to pay for, which this dude is paid like a motherfucker. He got the money to do it, and he's going to start, exposing, these people, which, it all could be orchestrated. It all could be, part of the plan of the elites to do this shit and to make it seem like, he's really against this, or it could be, or he really is. We'll wait and see what happens. But we do know one thing, that the truth is being attacked, and people that are speaking out against these things are making themselves an enemy, and they're going to be preyed upon by this government. It says Schumer previously called for Carson to be taken off air after he broadcasted footage showing the January 6 riot leaders were actually allowed into the Capitol and chaperoned around by authorities. As we highlighted earlier, one of the reasons behind Tucker's dismissal is a lawsuit filed, by former show producer Abby Grossberg, who claims she was bullied and subjected to sexist and anti-Semitic harassment. You see, and that's part of those, the alphabet boys getting involved in, creating, more of those slanders, more of those accusations to make this guy look like a scumbag and a jerk, and to make it seem like this is the reason why we got him off the air. One thing that they're not going to say is that the reason why we got rid of him is because he was exposing too much truth. They'll never say that, because that is the truth. But they're going to come at some other angle, like I said, to attack him, assassinate his character. The devil is going to do what the devil is going to do. Just like they're going to, that the likes of Vocab Malone does unto the Israelites, man. He slander, he lies, and he paints this negative picture that we're just this radical, hate, fanatical group, looking to harm and looking to do, crimes and destroy things, and looking like we're a terrorist group, but really we're just prophets and men of the Lord, man. You see? So we can see, the time is coming where he's about to come down with that great wrath, man. And it shows you that this truth is very beautiful, man. And it shows you that the Lord, doesn't have us like the rest of our people who are blind, like it says, semi-quasi lobotomized retards, man. This is Ephesians chapter 4, verse 13. It says, I'll start here. It says 4 and 11, he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach. You see? And this is why the Lord has the, different men and the apostles and elders and brethren out there set up to teach the elect, so that we can be informed. So we don't be in that, quasi retarded, lobotomized, 2/3 club, man, who don't know what the hell is going on, who's deceived, who believes every single bit of information that's brought in front of them. They don't have the eyes to see or the ears to hear. You see, but we do. It says for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach, till we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Hamashiach. And this is what these elites fear. This is why they're, come up against the prophets. They take down our videos. They got Vocab Malone trying to destroy the faith of the believers, hoping that we don't wake up and come into the fullness of the measure of Hamashiach, so that we can be deceived, so that we can be, led as a flock to the slaughter and, overcame by this damn devil. It says that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine. You see, and that's what Esau is pushing. This is what the American school system was created for. This is what the American, the news is set up for, television is set up, this music, this whole system of America, man, is set up to have you lost in the sauce and dumbed down and stupid. But we have the spirit and the gift of faith through Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, so that that programming didn't work on us. We broke that programming, and now we're in moving through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and we can't be deceived, and we can't be led astray. Lord willing, we're part of that number to the end. It says, and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. You see? And this is what what the fuck? And that's what the Lord has protecting us from. So we're not caught up in all of the deceptions and the sleight of men and the witchcraft of this damn devil in this society. We have, the spiritual eyes out, man. So we're able to see through all of the bullshit. We have a solid foundation in this truth and in this word and in the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You see? We're walking around with the whole armor of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So none of these, we can quench all the fiery darts and the deception and the game being ran by this damn devil. It says, but speaking the truth in love, which this devil calls hate, may grow up unto him in all things, which is the head, even Hamashiach. It says, from whom the whole body fitly joined together and compacted by that which every joint supplieth, according to the effectual working in the measure of every part, maketh increase of the body unto the edifying of itself in love. You see? And this is what we have. We're joined into the body of Yahushua, and therefore, we can't be deceived. We can't be, played. But we're going to continue to do what the Lord has commanded us to do, Lord willing, until the end. And we're going to be delivered, and we're going to receive salvation if we're part of the elect, But like I said, as you can see, this devil is coming down with that great wrath, man. And hey, he's coming to. That's why we know that the famine of the word is very surely on its way, man. But first they got to get rid of anybody telling truth. They're going to start with the mainstream news media, anybody with bigger platforms, with bigger audiences to reach. And I'm sure they're going to work their way down lower and lower, until eventually they're going to come to the men of the Lord where, our faith and trust is that the Lord will lift up that standard against this devil, man. But I thought this was a good article, and it's showing you that, look, scriptures are on point when it says, he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey, man. Scripture tell you that we're no longer going to, it was Isaiah 10:20, we're no longer going to stay on him that smote us, but we're going to trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in these last days. And by doing that, hey, we're making ourselves an enemy and a prey to this damn devil. But as we know, Esau loses, the elect will be defended. But hey, we got to keep an eye on this, and this showing that these devils are they're losing, man. And the only thing that's left is them to come down with great wrath and lies and slander and accusations against anybody speaking the truth. So, hey, with that, Lord willing, you were edified. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, put in the spirit of me and do this lesson. To the next one, Shalom.